Yeah, that's right. I am making a video game and I'm low-key addicted to it. I play it nonstop and I think it's finally time to share it with all of you. And in fact, you can play it today, right now, hitting the links down in the description or pinned comment below. We're going to take you to the Steam store page for what we're currently calling Project Skyshard. It is a fantasy city building auto battler, which I know it's not a card game, but it is a strategy game that I think most card game players will find a lot to love about it, myself included. Man, I am legit so addicted. I play multiple hours every single day and I haven't been able to talk to you about it at all, which is killing me. But we're gonna play it in this video as well. You're gonna see it all in action. We're gonna go through the tutorial. We're gonna play a full run. Hopefully you enjoy what you see. I will warn you right now, nothing is finished. It's all you know, some things are getting there, but you know, everything from the logo to the UI, there's a lot of temporary artwork. A lot of the gameplay will still be evolved and improved upon, but I've been building this game with my good friend in the content world. It's been 321, who some of you might know from the Hearthstone world. He played Hearthstone Battlegrounds, which is another auto battler. Other auto battlers you might know are things like Teamfight Tactics, the Bazaar recently, Backpack Battles was really inspiring for us with this game as another kind of low budget indie game that blew up and had a ton of success. All of that DNA goes into this game and we're really enjoying it, having a ton of fun. I have to give full credit to Ben though, my partner. He's really the brains behind all of this. He's the guy who codes the game. He is an absolute wizard. Just an absolute all-star. I mean, honestly, insane how quickly and how efficiently and how amazing he is at making the game. I came in to give him a little help, financial support, philosophical support, like, you know, kind of macro design directions, art direction, all of that stuff to kind of, you know, make it something he dreamed of. But he's really the technical mastermind who deserves most of the credit. But together we've been working on this little thing for the last, I think, only 4 months or so, actually, which might surprise some of you because I've kind of been dropping these little teasers here and there about, you know, making something, having a big announcement. That's because I was actually, and still kind of am, making another game. Whoa, surprise reveal here. I've actually also been working on another card game that started a while ago. Now, that one's honestly a little bit on the back burner. I'm going to show you a little bit of a teaser of that game at the end of the video, currently calling that Project Cardinal. I just wanted to give you a preview of what that is. It's kind of been cooking. It's a much slower process. I've been working with an indie team called Buried Things. It's been over the last like year and a half or more, but it's been very much a side project. We just kind of work on it when we can. But we have a really cool little world and a little card game engine going. That one I designed from the ground up. That's kind of been my baby. But it's further away. It's going to take a little more work and a lot more funding probably to ever see the light of day. It may never actually happen. But Project Skyshard is here right now, and Ben's been like dying to tell people about it. So yeah, we figured why not just let you play it. We're gonna learn so much. We're gonna gather so much data and feedback and perspective just by letting people play it. So again, it's just down there in the links. Go play it on Steam. Let us know what you think. You're probably going to encounter bugs. You're going to find broken things. Again, you're going to see a lot of unfinished stuff, but we're just humbly offering it up to you and saying, hey, I hope you have fun. Let's all make this thing better together, because as my title probably teased, you know, I've as a content creator, I've often gotten frustrated by the games that I play doing things that I didn't like or get frustrated by, like particularly in regards to monetization most often, right? It's like so many games are designed and driven around the monetization models. I wanted to see, like, honestly, just can we do it better? Can you actually just go and make a game that doesn't do all the greedy stuff? I think we're going to be able to do that based on everything we know right now. Like, we're going to learn a lot more as we go, but we've built this game in a really affordable way, really low to the ground. Should have very manageable server costs. Our overhead is incredibly low because it's literally just me and Ben and some contracted artists, sound and music, which most of that's not even in the game yet, but it's cooking. It's all cooking, right? And we don't care about being rich. Like, I'm in the hole on this game. I've been financing this myself. I don't care about being rich. I just want to make a fun game. I'm actually more hopeful if anything I can make my money back on content. I just want to have a game I can play and won't do a lot of stupid stuff, and, you know, will be a player focused game that, like, I'm here every day. I'm making the game. You can talk to me, you know? It's not some 47 layers of corporate middle managers or whatever. It's just me and Ben. And you can come talk to us, and we're going to try to make the game as good as we can, and we're going to work with all of you. We have no expectations. We don't think this is going to be a mega hit. We don't think it needs to be a mega hit. We think if we have a tiny, dedicated player base who loves the game, we're all going to be really happy, and we can support that for a really long time to come, the way this game is built. And honestly, it's just kind of a passion project. We're just kind of humbly coming to you and say, hey, check this out. I hope it's fun. Let us know what you think. You can also join our Discord, by the way. We're going to be in there chatting with everybody all the time. So there'll be some links, again, for that in the description or pinned comment down below. But enough talking, right? This was initially going to be a 10-year anniversary video, by the way, because my YouTube 10-year anniversary was like 2 days ago. I've been on YouTube for 10 years. That was kind of a good milestone. We were a little bit late with the demo build or whatever. So, you know, I was going to like reminisce and do all this stuff. I was like, no, let's just show them the game. It's gonna be more fun to just let people play the game and get tons of feedback and see where we're at. And, you know, if it sucks, we'll make it better. If it doesn't suck, cool, we'll still make it better, and we'll go from there. But for now, I thought, you know what, let's just go ahead and I'm just gonna show you the game and what it's about. We're gonna go through the tutorial. I'm also gonna go through a full run of the game. Yeah, folks, this is indeed our little tutorial. I thought this might be a good way for all of us to learn together. This is Zap Zap. He's got a magical bug zapper because he's a frog, and he uses it to catch flies to eat. My favorite thing ever. That's my idea, executed beautifully by our artist Nyx, who will have some links down below. But anyway, let's jump into this tutorial. He says, lucky you, this piece of Skyshard still has no claim. Oh, you're new here. Don't worry, I'll show you the path to becoming a world-dominating wizard. Seems like we won't have a lot of space to work with, so be smart about how you're building. Let's start with the basics. The life of every good kingdom. Town units. They're the easiest way to quickly grow your strength. While you have many different types of citizens, they will all scale you up in their own unique way. By the way, you can see here a mix of finished and unfinished artwork. The ones that look detailed and fancy over here on the left, clearly the finished ones. These are Ben's hand-drawn art, which is charming in its own way, and I'd like to include in the game as an unlockable, but we'll get there at some point. You will need to defend your Skyshard and protect all these citizens with defense units. Again, here we got some finished bamboos and stone walls, but a little temporary guy here. Bulky structures that can absorb some hits. They are a bit harder to find, but still fairly common. These are built on the right. We already have natural protection on other sides, so enemies will attack from here. But you know what they say, right? The best defense is offense. And here we have some weapons, which will give you another layer of protection again. Nice mix of finished and unfinished artwork. Although I wouldn't say anything is totally finished. I'm sure we could take some passes on at least implemented artwork, let's say. There are many other wizards that will attack you, and those are going to be boards from other players. The only way you'll survive is by going on the counter offense, show them who's boss. I bet you're confused looking at all these units, not knowing what they actually do. I'm going to stop holding your hand now. Go explore a bit. Use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out of your island. We can actually zoom in and see all these beautiful buildings. Again, I think most of these are made by Nyx. We have a second artist working on stuff called Critical Freya, but I don't think any of these are her units because these are from the first batch or two. Use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Holding the scroll wheel lets you drag the camera. I mean, to be honest, you don't really need to be zooming in all that much. I think maybe on stream sometimes if you're talking about stuff, if you're a streamer, it could be helpful. As a player, I think the default view is how most people are going to experience it, but you can if you'd like. And by the way, if you download the game right now, it's free on Steam right now. There's demo, free for now anyway. Go check it out, go play it. You can skip this tutorial since you're watching it with me. Just hit escape at any time. You'll be able to exit this tutorial. When you hover over a unit, it gives some basic info. Press Alt to toggle this. I don't think you need to toggle that. I think it's super handy to keep there, but you can if you'd like. So this shows like health, its cooldown speed, and gives you a little description. The botanist here will give a random friendly nature unit plus 10 health every 2.4 seconds. which is its cooldown speed. Can't buff other botanists, so there's no infinite loops on this one. And conveniently, when you hover over it, it will glow things in green that it affects. So these are the other nature units. For instance, bamboo here, 170 health. When destroyed, summon 2 smaller bamboos with 50% health, and then that repeats again. So it goes down to 2 and then down to 4. So like a really sticky nature unit in this case. We also had the lumberjack here with this beautiful art. This has a 4.4 cooldown speed, so a little slower. This gives a random friendly weapon unit 0.5 damage for each friendly unique nature unit. Again, this is showing us our unique nature units we currently have, the bamboo and the botanist aside. And these are our weapons. You know, these have damage values as well. The cannon's kind of like the most basic vanilla guy we have. 150 health, 70 damage, speed of 1.5. That's a pretty high speed, but not as high as the dynamite turret, which has much lower damage, but a faster cooldown on its attacks, and it deals 3 times damage to defense units. So it can be a great way to push through like stone walls, which just have 600 health and take 20% less damage. We also finally have the big laser pointer here. And by the way, there's already like 120 units or something, so we're not going to go through all of these right now, but I just wanted to give you an idea. This is a different kind of weapon. This one has pierce damage, which if you click on any weapon, you can kind of go in and look at even more details. It shows you like the size, you know, DPS, damage type, etc. Piercing, which we're going to learn in a minute in the tutorial, basically means it goes through something and has a 10% damage fall off when it does. So like you deal 10% of the damage to the thing behind it, which can add up when you got like small units sitting next to big units, for instance. So anyway, when you click on a unit, it'll show a little menu with all the relevant info you need. We just saw that. Notice how they have different synergy types as well. This unlocks some cool interactions. Don't like the layout, you can drag units around to change their position. Hey, what do you know? That's the whole point of the game. That's what it's all about, man. That's why we're here. For instance, Jeffrey says, give a defense unit plus 3 health for each adjacent town unit. And by the way, the name Jeffrey, this is a Ben thing. He wanted to have a nice, funny shorthand as if Jeffrey lives there. I would probably call it the guard house or something. I don't know, but Jeffrey's fine for now. But, you know, basically you want to have town units next to Jeffrey so that you get extra buffs. So these are all town units next to Jeffrey. You wouldn't want him off here by his own. So positioning is going to come in really important. The watchtower, alternatively, this doesn't want any adjacent units. It wants to be by itself, and that makes all of your town units trigger faster. So you don't want it here next to a guy. And by the way, adjacent also counts corners, as you'll see here. If I click this, it's going to glow green there because that is adjacent. So give it a try. Don't spend too much time. We'll be seeing some new units soon. That's in there because we gave this game to Dexter to try out, and he said he spent like 5 minutes adjusting this board perfectly because he thought it was going to be like he took it into battle or whatever, and then we just deleted it, and he was really sad. We are ready to learn more Zap Zap. This guy's Zap Zap. I don't know if I said that. How do we start building? Mana. On the top left, you'll see all your resources. We have health, mana, and this is our victory score and our round total. It's saying all of that. Sorry, Zap Zap, for getting out ahead of you. Mana is used to travel to different destinations. They're all hosts to unique structures and events. So let's visit the 4th encounter. We need a weapon for this next part. And I will say, too, early on in your run, you should pretty much always take a weapon. I mean, if you're really good, you don't have to. But most players will want a weapon early so you don't just lose rounds for free. Oh, perfect. Drag it onto your Skyshard. Yep, sure. Just grab it from our shop there and put it on there. Well done. When you're in battle, your weapons will always attack the nearest enemy unit unless they specify otherwise. I have another gift for you. In the bottom left, you'll find your inventory. Place the wall for some extra damage. Kind of covering up the inventory, but a little logo there. I also added an enchantment. Place this buff onto one of your units. This is spellbinding. It deals 20% bonus damage to magic units. So we'll put that on our cannon. Won't do much good on a stone wall that does no damage. These are small little bonuses. You can have at most 3 on a unit, and none of them stack. Done with your round. On top, you can go find other wizards fighting for their sky shards. Let's find an opponent up here. Here's our fight. This looks like it's gonna be a little tough. These Tesla coils are pretty strong. We're gonna start the fight, and oh my god, what do you know? We rigged it. We rigged it. We died. I think Zap Zap will have something to say about that. Hit continue here. Don't worry, your wizard can rewind time after battle to restore his lost units. That is really just an explanation of how auto battlers work. You basically always just keep your board into future rounds. So we wanted to wrap that into the story, the lore a little bit here. But this power is limited. After it's exhausted, your island will be destroyed permanently. That's when you run out of health. They only had 3 units standing, so you only lose 3 hit points. 5 is the max. You can only lose 5 health per round max. But, you know, in that instance, you know, if you get them down to 1 unit, you're only going to lose 1 health. It feels like a minor victory in a way. If the fight goes on for too long, the Fatigue Wizard will put it into it, which that's going to get a change, I think, for flavor. I haven't talked to Ben about that yet, but basically a funny hand-drawn wizard is going to pop up and start damaging stuff a ton to accelerate the end of the fight. Otherwise, there could be infinite loops very easily. Training is almost over. A final piece of advice: damage types. Weapons can have different effects. This one is explosive. It deals a percentage of its damage to surrounding units. We're going to murder some trees, shoot some trees. Pay close attention to how they take damage. You'll see as one tree gets hit, the other ones also explode next to it or take damage. As you can see from the flaming, beautiful hand-drawn flames there for Ben. Now for the next damage type, pierce damage. This deals a percentage of its damage to all units behind its target in a straight line. So we're gonna deal damage to the front tree, more tree sacrifice. But see here, the trees behind it also all taking some damage, right? So you can see it carries through. Spectacular, isn't it? Finally, there's the stun units. They disable their target for a short amount of time. You'll see here, these blue, the blue bar is kind of the cooldown going up. It pauses as you stun it, which, you know, can certainly add up. You can't stun anything for more than a second, by the way, so no lockouts. One more important tip: when building your own island, you can hold right-click to return units to your inventory, but you can find and change all the controls in the settings menu. That's all for now. Go out there and conquer this new world. And here you can see some islands, by the way, popping up on the main menu screen. By the way, of course, none of this is final, none of this UI, none of this logo. I'm literally working with a logo designer right now for a new logo, so you know, don't get attached to anything you see. But you can't get a cool preview here. These are all just random boards from other players. Actually, this is from me. A lot of them will be from me because I play the game more than anyone on the planet, of course. At least maybe until today. We'll see, I guess. But you get a little preview here. You can kind of get it's just kind of for flavor more than anything, right? Just to make this a little more alive. But I like that it showcases some of the cool stuff that people are doing, can give you some ideas of fun builds and inspiring things if you look closely, I guess. But now we're just going to go ahead and hop into a new game. Before you do, be sure to hit the wish list button on Steam. Go wish list. But then we're going to hop into a new game. Well, folks, this is a game of Skyshard. We've got to make a lot of choices. I'm going to go through this in, like, I'd say moderate detail. I'm not going to, like, teach you every single unit or whatever, but I'm going to try to, like, walk you through my choices and the units I buy and why I'm buying them, and, like, explain positioning choices, that sort of stuff, to give you a good feel for what it might feel like as you're playing this game. Just a reminder, we have 8 mana every round. Every time we buy something, right, it's going to cost either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. The cost of the shops kind of indicates the quality of the units inside. Like, this is a defense shop that costs 5, so it's going to have tier 4 and 5 units. If you buy a tier 4 shop, it's going to have tier 3 and 4 units, etc. as you go down, right? So you're kind of making choices here about a few different things, right? Like the tier of the unit, and it's not always better to just buy all big things. You sometimes need a lot of little stuff to fill in, but you can also see each of these shops indicates its faction or use case as well. Like, you have a defense shop, an ancient faction shop. These are town units when you see the house. These are tinker units or nature units. Now, I will note things that a lot of auto battlers have that we don't have is a reroll button where you get to, like, reroll your shop to see new options. Very intentionally, we did not want a reroll option, because we want you to have stuff. I think it's more fun to buy stuff than it is to constantly just spend all your gold looking for the perfect thing. We wanted your little town to grow, right? We want you to have units in a bustling little village in the city eventually, right? So what we decided to do is, like, you can just buy one cost stuff, and that's kind of functionally your reroll, right? Like, you just get to get something, but also reroll. So it's like a nice little bonus. If you're thinking about, like, oh, I just hate these shop options, I want to reroll. Hey, take your one cost shop. Now, another thing you may note here is the glowing aura behind these shops. That indicates basically how many things you get to choose from. So you can see here with Housing Market, you get to choose from 1 of 6 units. That's a purple glow. But the blue glow, you only get to choose from 1 of 3. So this is like kind of a higher quality option or a version of town unit shops. And these are kind of a white gray glow. You just get a random one. You don't even get to pick at all. So, you know, this is another kind of layer of stuff to keep an eye on, right? So you have many choices here. Do I want a defense? Do I want an ancient? Do I want a higher quality choice? Do I want a cheaper unit so I have more mana to spend later? We're just gonna start with a big old honking defense. We're gonna take a defense. So we're gonna take the prismatic mirror. I always like this. 600 health. It's pretty good health total at a base for a defense unit. Also has this passive: when this takes damage, shoot 20% of the damage back. Now we spent 5. We only have 3 mana remaining. So now our shop options decrease down to 3 or less. In this case, we probably don't have a good weapon to pick because there just aren't a lot of good cheap weapons. There could be one in a big shop though. We could grab like a cannon, for instance. I think it's generally a good idea to get a weapon as soon as you can because it helps you win early fights. No cannon, but we did get a rusty sentry. This is an interesting choice. This always permanently destroys itself. So whereas you normally get to keep units, this one is like a one-time buy. It's just for tempo, basically saying, hey, I don't want to lose a fight. This might help me in a pinch. I'm going to grab this because I don't have other good options. I'm going to avoid that for now because you usually don't take a lot of damage on these early fights anyway. People might only have 1 or 2 things. We're going to take this big sequoia instead. This is a big old defense tree with a passive adjacent nature. Takes 10% less damage, so we can grab more nature defense units. And then this is a little nice wizard's tower owned by a fellow named Velmir, I guess. This is a town unit that buffs weapons, both in their explosive qualities and just damage. So no weapon for us. Very unlikely we win this first fight unless the opponent also doesn't have a weapon. Or it could be this guy, the Unstable Tesla Coil, which does run out of damage. This loses damage as it attacks. So you have to kind of buff it over time. So eventually that's going to go to 0. And then the Fatigue Wizard is going to appear and start dealing damage to us. We're going to see who dies first. They might just have more health than us. I don't know. They don't. Our big defense units hold on with 10 health and 65 health. We get a win without a weapon. That's great. Doesn't always happen. So now we need to start hunting for a weapon, really. We need to find one soon. I don't necessarily love tier 4 Tinker. Actually, there is both laser pointer and Tesla Coil that are options. We only get 3 choices. I might just take this cheap big shop. A lot of good options there potentially. We can take some trees, for instance. Trees are good to put in front of our Sequoia because they take less damage that way. These also win damage, give a plus 10 health to adjacent nature, which then feeds some health back to the big Sequoia. Also keep in mind when you buy a tree, you get 2. It's nice and it's cool. We gave the trees like different art. You can see here these are slightly different looking trees, slightly different color variations. You can kind of move it and you'll get a new one. There's, I don't know, a handful, 4 or 5 tree variations because you do get a lot together and they tend to clump up. We wanted it to look like they're a little distinct. They also have slightly random positioning, like they kind of are a little off center sometimes, so it kind of looks more like a nice little forest as you get trees together. Just little things like that to make life a little more interesting, I thought. So again, not a good weapon shop here. We're gonna take a cheap shop as kind of our reroll. Hey, we'll get some more trees. You guys can literally see the trees in action here, man. This is cool. Hey, weapon shop. Nice. Very nice. Ooh, couple good options here. We've got the Assimilator. This is one that kind of scales up as you have more different tags and factions and unit types and stuff. But I actually really like the Dynamite Turret. I think this one's sort of sleeper OP right now. It has a really fast attack speed at 0.8. It's low damage, but it deals extra to defense units. And particularly early on, I feel like that's super helpful. But it's actually really good late too. I think it's just a sleeper good weapon anyway. It's also an explosive type weapon. Now that said, this does not actually buff it because 100% is the cap, and it already has 100% explosive type. That means it deals 100% of its damage to adjacent targets, which makes it great for like cleaning up trees and stuff, right? It's dealing 3 times, so it's hitting trees for over 100, which they have that 100 health base, and it's hitting like adjacent trees as well. Clean up forests, dude. just clean them up. So let's take another cheap town. This is the Tiny Library. Gives a random friendly unit of each type, or of each faction, plus 2 health. So like nature unit, magic unit. This is a basic unit, so we have a few of those already. And then all we have left here is a little sprouting, which gives us a random nature. We got another tree. Let's go. I love it, actually. We got a nice little forest coming together here, guys. I love the mix of like the beautifully rendered tree and Ben's giant ugly Sequoia. Really funny. So let's find a new opponent. It's Ben. Okay. I think we're gonna win this fight, maybe. This guy's scary because this guy gets bigger as he kills stuff. Like it does more damage as stuff dies, and we have a lot of little trees to die. But I think we'll be okay. We're really good at shredding these trees and bamboo in particular. So yeah, the dynamite turret, as you can see, is just shredding. I love it. Super underrated. That's my tip if you're playing. Go for the dynamite turret. Here, we'll check our logs, by the way. That shows damage dealt for different units. Dynamite turret dealt 1,000. Our mirror reflecting did 140. Their weapon did out damage us, but we had you know, better defense, I guess, in that case. 20 triggers, which is cool. So there's a little log if you ever want to check on how your units are doing. Here, I love this big shop. 6 choices, even though they're random units. We don't have like a defined build yet anyway, so just taking a high quality choice here can be pretty cool. I love the mushroom mender. I also just really love the art on the mushroom mender. It looks awesome. So cute for some reason, but also just cool. But anyway, when this takes damage, gives adjacent units plus health equal to 25% of the damage. That said, we do have another weapon here too, the Chameleontis. After every trigger, it changes damage and faction. So you do like explosive damage or piercing damage. I think we want to take a secondary weapon here because the dynamite turret's good, but it doesn't hold up forever, right? Ooh, another big shop. Yeah, I like this. Just high quality choices all around. Oh, so many things to consider here. I don't want to like go through every single unit always. So I think this is a bold choice, but I'm going to take the crystal core. We have, I think, a pretty good tempo build right now. We've won a couple times. We've got some good weapons. I'm going to make a choice that's kind of for later as opposed to a choice for now. This buffs crystals. So at the start of combat, all your crystals get a 50% bonus. We don't have any crystals yet, but there's lots of ways to buy crystals and find crystals, and this could be a kind of central pillar of our build, basically. Which, by the way, this is a nature unit. We can put this here. Just kind of helps a little bit. Like the trees can buff it and stuff, you know. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Ooh, this is, man. Ooh, they got a lot of stuff, man. Koyo is, I think, Ben's real life friend. I remember right. Oh, we're murdering. Let's go. Easy murder. Good defensive walls. Very nice. Okay. Nature shop tier 2, 3. If I get another crystal core, by the way, as this says, they do stack. Would be very powerful. It's also a structure, so we could take this structure shop, which this icon's going to get changed, by the way. This is supposed to be the utilities icon, but we killed the utility shop. Now it's going to have a new icon, but we needed a placeholder. I think we could go for another one. We still don't have any crystals, so maybe we might have a crystal build cooking. These actually still technically belong down here, but you know, like you know, technically, like we said, these are better optimized here because they, you know, they take less damage if they're next to the sequoia. The trees can give them extra health. Every little health might technically matter in a given fight. There's like little positioning optimizations like that all the time if you look for them, right? Like technically I shouldn't even maybe have these trees. No, that's fine because it can buff by sequoia. There's always little tweaks. Sometimes you got to be lazy though and just like, no, I'm not worried about that, right? Like, no, I'm just gonna like, for me, I put all this stuff up at the top basically. I'm like, it's just gonna sleep up there. I don't care about the extra 10, 20 health, whatever. Do we dare go for another crystal core? We might. We missed the crystal core this time. We could go for another weapon. This is nature weapon. I think I'm just gonna go for the mushroom mender that we talked about earlier, though. I think this is really nice. We could put it here, put some trees that get buffed by it that way. We kind of got a little defense line going here. We need to find though. We need to find some crystals, or these are just going to be wasted. We've basically spent, you know, 8 mana for something that offers no advantage yet. You know, it's for the future, but I said we have a high tempo pair of weapons. I think we can afford to do that, and as you see, we're still winning actually, so it is indeed working out. Now we can go to the library, by the way. You won't necessarily have all these unlocked right away. You need to kind of discover them all to get them, but we can use this as a handy little trick because, like, I'm trying to think. I really want to find a production unit called the Crystal Mine. After combat, generate a random crystal, right? So I want to think about shops that might offer this, right? So it's a rarity 3, so we're going to look at kind of 3 and 4 cost shops. It's production unit and it's a utility. Now that means structure shop is not going to do it, and ancient shop is not going to do it. So what we could do instead is take a reroll on a cheap shop. transmute right now, this lets you sell your units. I don't know if we talked about this yet. I don't think so. Transmute lets you sell units. You can't normally sell units. You can add them back to your inventory if you don't want them on board for whatever reason, but you can't sell them for mana. And we did that very deliberately because we want you to have a town. We don't want you like being insanely efficient with mana and only getting down to like the 5 perfect units or whatever. We want you to have a town, right? Like, yes, you can still add them to hand, but you know, if you could just shop forever and just keep selling stuff forever, it would just, you know, you'd never really accrue a town. You'd just be about efficiency. But we did want an option in case, you know, you get some bad rolls or whatever. So this is, you know, it has a kind of a golden orange glow because it's actually pretty rare. I mean, you'll still hit it 4 or 5 times a run or whatever, depending on how many cheap shops you're buying. You'll see it a lot, but it's not just there all the time. So we wanted to have an option, but it's limited to 3 units, right? And it has kind of a 1 cost overhead. I think this is a good time to use it, though. I think I'm going to sell these town units, actually. I don't really need these right now. They're not really doing anything. Like, this is fine. It gives me some health or whatever, but I basically just kind of netted 1 mana, not in the scheme of the entire game, but like for now anyway, so I can make some better choices, because I'm really looking for a big shop that offers me that crystal mine, or, you know, production shop is a thing as well. So both of those are options. Let's go for a shrub here. Yeah, shrubs. Sort of combat gain 50 health for each enemy weapon. Big shop tier 4 and 5. We can get another crystal core. Oh my god. I am so in on these crystal cores, but I don't have any ways to make crystals right now. You can just buy crystals too, by the way. They do show up in just shops on their own if you get the right shops. But oh my god, as soon as I get a crystal, it's gonna be insane. But we're just miles away, man. This has been this build, I think in the future gets pretty crazy if I remember right. Like, I can kind of track builds. I've played against, you know, a lot of the same builds often. Honestly, this is a close fight, even though we've spent so much. Oh, we're gonna win, I think. Oh, we win with 162 health left. Oh my god. Oh, production shop. But it's a random production shop. Oh, if we get the crystal mine here, we're gonna be so happy, dude. Oh, come on. No, spell factory. It's fine. It's a good thing. We get enchantments every time, but it's not perfect. Big shop. Was it tier 3, right? The mine? No, no mine. No. Dude, supercharger on, I think this works. I don't actually know if I've even ever done this before. That's one thing that surprised me about this. I've got like, I don't even know, 150. I think I have like 100 hours on Steam, and we haven't even had the game on Steam that long. I don't even know how many hours of playing I've actually got of this. Like, some of the units are new, but I'm constantly surprised by how much new stuff I find. I find new stuff to do all the time. Like, constantly find new stuff to do. Like new little lines I haven't discovered yet. Like, it's surprising how much complexity there is, how much depth you can kind of unlock. Okay, I'm not going into too much detail on the opponent's builds, by the way, right now. Like, it's a lot for you to kind of break down and learn and discover. So I'm just gonna let you just kind of enjoy my side of it. And are we actually gonna hold on again? I don't think so. Oh my god, it's so close though. We only lost 3 health. Isn't bad given how much mana we've spent on these crystal cores, by the way. It's just crazy how much we've spent on these. I think, by the way, this art, I wondered if this is the case. It's not quite as square as it needs to be to indicate it's filling up this square space. I wonder if we have a way to fix that. You know, it's because it kind of looks like this thing's not adjacent to all 3 of these, but it definitely is. Like, you know, from a square standpoint. Let me take a look at that. It's bugging me a little bit. Okay, this is a enchantment we randomly generated, by the way. It start of combat, you gain 10% health on whichever unit you give it to. I see a typo right there. Dube for nature items. Let me make a note of that real quick. Enchantment. This is how things go when you're making games. Lots of notes. So that's a good place to put that on the tree. Good double there. I need a crystal. We finally see at least 1 crystal. This is Azurite gives adjacent units 0.05 speed, which is actually going to be a lot of speed when combined with all these crystal cores. Let's go for a little reroll here. We'll just take a landmine. That's fine. Let's take another little reroll here. An industrialist. This is a little weapon buff. Landmines, by the way, deal damage to random enemy defense units. Crystal mine. Okay, we'll take another one of these. Dude, I need, give me a crystal here at least. No, no crystal. Another mill. Sure, I don't know. Yeah. Beehive, beekeeper. This just, when it gains health, it gives health to something else, which actually can't happen. Botanist, as you saw in the tutorial, gives health to the beekeeper. Technically, yeah, again, here's another little optimization, right? Since we know this crystal is giving plus speed to everything, we should technically put all of this stuff by the crystal as much at least as we can. That's as many as we can get adjacent there. So all of this stuff gets little speed buffs. It's actually probably pretty significant already just with these crystal cores. Like this is starting at 1.4 speed. Let's see what it goes to after the combat starts here. We'll start the fight and then pause it. 0.83 already. Yeah, no, that's actually insane. That's pretty good. Is that even the max? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, oh, no, yeah. 0.23 for the dynamite turret. That is going to shred these defenses. By the way, it's funny to see Ben's hand-drawn VFX here. It's cute. Dude, the landmine is flying across because it's a homing landmine, dude. That's fun. I don't even know it did that, to be honest with you. I've never seen that before in my life. This dynamite turret is shredding now, dude. Shredding. 3,000 damage already. Nice. That's good. 6 wins, by the way. We're already going to rank up at 6 wins. You can see your current rating difference. That's going to go ahead and tell you that you're, you know, after this run is done, I'm going to gain some MMR or points, rank, whatever for my leaderboard. Dude, I'm dying over here. I gotta find that. I gotta find some crystals, dude. Here, big shop. Hook me up, dude. No, can't get any crystals, dude. I have this insane crystal build and no crystals. It's unbelievable. We might take this glow berries. This is kind of cool. When an adjacent unit triggers, add 5% of its health to a random friendly defense unit. And as we just saw, right, like this is making all these things trigger super fast. So, you know, getting some health buffs basically on our defenses over here starts kicking in, which is kind of cool. Oh, by the way, the last hope, our new enchantment from the Spell Factory. When a weapon drops below 25% health, double its damage. Honestly, that doesn't happen often, but we can go ahead and put that on our little chameleon here. See how it helps. I gotta find some crystals, man. It's so late now. I don't even have that many rounds for the crystals to like generate extra crystals, but we're just farming up anyway with this one crystal, dude. Look at the damage. It's crazy. The one crystal's enough, man. That's all you needed. We transmute out some stuff. We could definitely lose the beekeepers. Could honestly lose the Spell Factory. It might be worth it. I do like this shop a lot, though. It's a really good shop. I don't hate anything that much that we have. Let's go ahead and take this shop. You kidding me, dude? This is the crystal core, dude. Hey, another crystal. Oh my god. Well, now this goes here. Yeah, still right. And then this can move in here. Tinker unit, maybe just nature. So this could be crystals. An emerald that gives adjacent units plus 50 health. Well, that's going to be insane now here. Let's get all these guys, the biggest guys, right? The tree, the mushroom, and the force field all together for that. So they all get nice big buffs. The ruby gives adjacent weapons plus 3 damage. Well, now we have a little decision. I guess we probably put that here on these weapons. That's going to actually be a crazy weapon buff right off the bat, especially on the dynamite turret. Okay. Let's so that's 35 damage at a base, right? Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes just from that weapon. 50. That's not as much as I was expecting, to be honest. Is it? Oh, 111. Oh, okay. That's it's taking a minute to, dude. So we effectively already sent it to the moon. It's getting debuffed a little bit here by the ritualists. These remove 1 damage from a random enemy weapon. Chameleon's also at 196, and by the way, the speed is now 0.1. We have a floor on speed. That actually might just be the floor. I think that's as fast as you can humanly get. By the way, keep in mind the glow berries, every time this triggers every 0.1 second, we're giving a ton of extra health. This is already at 1800 health. This is the Giga build. This is the Exodia build. Dude, this has got to be nerfed. It's so unlikely to get 4 crystal cores like this. I have to promise you, this doesn't happen often, but by god, when it happens, you got to get there for it. On trigger, gain 1 damage. I mean, honestly, it doesn't even do that much anymore because it only has a max of 10. Gain 10%. Sure, that's good on the chameleon. Dude, at this stage, like, I think we just look for more weapons now because like anything these blue crystals touch are just gonna go absolutely crazy. Synthetic leecher, don't really need any of these. Refractor, I just really don't need any of these. just gonna take the leecher's actually kind of dangerous. I'm just gonna take this because we just don't need any of it. We talked about quests at all? Did we do a spiel on quests? Oh man, I don't remember. Research expedition, start a quest, buy 4 different synergy types, get a random tier 5 unit. I think that's a little late for us now. We don't need random stuff. I think we just take a big defense here. Honestly, I don't even know how good defense is for us anymore because, like, you know, we are shredding so fast at some level. Like, you know, if you're that aggressive, defense kind of helps, but maybe it doesn't help that much. This is just silliness though, dude. This dynamite turret, dude. It's so, oh my, dude, no, this is the most broken build I've played in weeks. Why is this my tutorial video? Oh no, we gotta fix this, dude. This is completely busted. Oh my god, they just died instantly, dude. They just died instantly. I broke the game. Oh no. I mean, listen, Ben and I literally talked about this today on Discord. You guys might even be able to see this. Like, we've had a lot of like Discord conversations in our Discord that I think are the public channels. I don't know if you'll have the ability to scroll up or not, but you literally might be able to see us talk about this. How I want there to be some broken stuff. I like when there's some broken stuff and you find some broken stuff, because I'm going to just tell you right now, it is incredibly unlikely to get 4 crystal cores in a given game that all stack up and start scaling your crystal bonuses like this, right? It's incredibly unlikely. It's insane that I hit this high roll. I'm having the time of my life though right now, right? Anybody who hits this is going to have the time of their life. And like, yes, of course, the opponent who runs into this build, which might literally be you today, if you go download the game right now, it's play right now, go wishlist on Steam. You might run into this, you might get mad, but, and I understand that, and I don't want that to happen, obviously, right? But I also know that we've built safeguards in place. You're only ever going to lose 5 health to this. Even though I retained basically my entire board, you're only ever going to lose 5 health. It's the max. Whether I had 5 units left or 30, you're only taking 5 damage, right? So if I were even like a third of as strong as I am, the outcome would probably be exactly the same to you, right? It might not look as dramatic, but the outcome, the effective outcome would be the same. You still would have died, you still would have lost 5 health, right? Maybe if I was even 10% as strong. So I think what's happening is, I'm hoping this is true, I think we can allow for these crazy high roll moments that are super, super fun for me, but we've kind of mitigated the damage to you when you encounter it, right? In other words, like, the net fun gain is really high because I'm having 100 fun, and like, you might only be having a 5 fun, or maybe let's say a negative, maybe you're having a negative, you know, -5, because that's how much health you lost. You're never having a -100 because you're never losing 100 health. You know what I mean? Like, you're only ever, the floor is capped on the negative fun side of it, but the positive fun side of it can go infinitely, baby. Basically can scale forever, and I think that's a win for the game overall. That said, you guys are gonna leave comments. No, Regis, this build's insane. Don't do this to us, Regis. Honestly, yeah, let's go ahead and put this enchantment there. We're getting a lot of weapon enchantments, which is nice. I guess we'll take a tinker. Maybe we find a weapon. We have some stuff in place basically where as you get weapons and as you get specific units, you're less likely to find them. I think that's true specifically for tier 4 and 5 units right now. So like, the fact that I got 4 crystal cores again is absurdly lucky, because each time I get a crystal core, I'm less likely to get a new crystal core. We kind of control the pool a little bit to prevent, you know, too many insane high rolls too often. I think that's also true for weapons. The more weapons you get right now, I think you're going to get less likely to get weapons. I don't know, you know, I don't know if that happens at 3 or not. I'd have to double check with Ben on the math. We just implemented this recently, but basically we're probably not going to get too many more weapons. Also, this weapon, the Tesla coil, it loses 1 damage on trigger. So, you know, we're going to be triggering insanely fast. We do have some of these, industrialists which buff weapons. They might be able to keep up, but I kind of doubt it. What we could also do maybe is put the ruby here so that it's starting with a bigger head start. We can grab this gym, whatever. It's not going to be a gym anymore, by the way. It's going to be a post office very soon, so don't get attached to the gym. I was like, Ben, dude, gyms don't exist in, I mean, I guess they could exist in fantasy towns, but it would be something, we call it something different than that. It's going to be a post office anyway. Don't get attached. Here's that ritualist removing 1 damage. Structure shop here. Dynamo. This buffs every trigger, which does keep the Tesla coil in an interesting spot, but at the same time, I don't really have space for that because I want to keep this. Oh, actually, we could maybe do this, honestly. Yeah. Here's another one of those little positioning puzzles, right? Like an interesting little positioning puzzle. Also, the glowberries are pretty good on the Tesla coil because it has 325 health compared to the dynamite turret, which only has 160. If we zoom in on this a little bit, right? Like, you know, just a little shift in positioning there basically gives me this dynamo, which buffs my Tesla coil. The Tesla coil is still adjacent to the Azurite, which you can see, you know, it's on the corner case here. You still get the Industrialist also hit by the Azurite. The only thing we lost right now is the 2-for-1 on the Ruby. Ruby can't hit both turret and Tesla coil now. It's arguably better on Tesla coil because it's an AoE. It deals damage to the 3 closest enemies. And they're both going to be max speed. This is hitting defense harder though, so it's like they both kind of have a 3x modifier. I guess maybe we just do this. What am I doing? This is, again, I just a tiny positioning tweak, right? Now the Ruby's affecting both weapons. The Industrialist is still impacted by the Azurite. Yeah, like these little tiny tweaks, guys. I'm telling you, man. Also, these aren't triggering units. This is a triggering unit, so we should put the gem next to the glowberry so we get another max triggering unit. It's faster than the mill, so that's good. Okay. Yeah, no, this is good. Okay, I think we're just gonna murder everybody from here on out, to be honest. There is one bin build that's really crazy. This is actually used to be a scary build, but we nerfed the big rockets. Bro, he put up a fight, actually. Turret just, dude, it did so much more than, it's just murdering those defenses. When do these only show at 35? Maybe because we're post-fight, I guess? I don't know. It honestly didn't matter, I guess, either way. Oh my god, accelerate. It's kind of wasted though. We don't really need it because everybody's getting so fast so soon anyway. Maybe I just use an accelerate on like something that's not touching one of the crystals, you know? Yeah, that's probably better. We never, by the way, found the power plant is insane. This passive when an adjacent Tinker unit triggers, which this is a Tinker unit, the Tesla coil, gives a random friendly weapon plus 2 damage and a town unit plus 5% speed. So basically this is another way to buff our weapons, and it just goes off every time this weapon goes off, which we know this weapon's going to go off every 0.1 seconds. Just going to create this engine of craziness that's going to buff our weapons a bunch, which is really nice. How do I still not have a crystal mine, dude? It's gonna be the last thing that I get. I guess we take another glowberries because why not? We're just gonna get crazy health buffs. The power line speeds up town units, which just isn't really necessary. This gives plus 5 health when an adjacent town unit triggers, so let's just use that on these. Give them a ton of health. I actually want to do this next fight in slow motion a little bit because we're just killing people so quickly with this build. I want to kind of see it in slow-mo, right? Like just to see how many health buffs and stuff, because like, you know, this is giving plus 5 health to town units. How quickly are these getting big? This is 130 damage. This is 100 damage, but it's dealing 1,000 damage per second, dude. Dude. Okay, I gotta take it. Maybe this is actually too broken. This might actually be too broken. I don't know, dude. I'm going in slow motion and his board is just totally gone. Oh my god, dude. It wasn't even the coil. It was dealing 1,000 damage per second, but the turret was better. The turret somehow just better. Oh my god, dude. We're not seeing this 4x crystal core. This might have to go down to crystals get a 25% bonus, guys. I don't know, man. Actually need to sell this. This thing's useless. I'm getting sick of all these enchantments, dude. Let's just sell that so we get some return on our investment here. I forgot to look at how much health our defense units are getting, right? Another one of these power plants would be, I guess, cool. I don't even know if we need it anymore. Another weapon is also insane. Yeah, let's just put that here instead of this industrialist. We get another weapon that's shredding even faster. I guess we're just gonna buy something expensive now because, like, at this point, I don't think anything's gonna stop us, to be honest. I think we might walk to the end here. The crystal mine! Oh, yes! It's only gonna give us a few rounds, but it's just I mean, honestly, every crystal at this point seems just completely insanely broken, so you know, it may not even matter, dude. Okay, this hard to tell exactly what's happening with this build. I'm gonna go in slow-mo, just, dude, it just doesn't matter. I want to see how much health this gets. Yeah, it's getting so much health. Dude, this board's he's actually doing some work right now, by the way. We're not safe yet. Wait a minute. No way. We gonna lose? No way do we die. I actually literally did not think it was possible to lose. Wow, what was that build? We can resummon the boards to see what his build was about, by the way. I did not think this was possible to lose. He's got a lot of laser pointers. How is he buffing those? He's got a graveyard to bring stuff back to life, a rocket to shred our defenses. He's got a lot of town units, just a lot of town units going off. He also has a dynamite turret that's gaining damage every attack. He's got all of his own crystals, but they're not nearly as buffed. He is using supercharger on what? On crystals? Mulberries? I honestly don't know why this beat us. I'm not actually sure what beat us here if I'm looking at it. I'm very intrigued. Maybe we just don't have enough defense comparatively, like, you know, a little less defense, a little less town, a lot of little junk. He had, you know, a decent amount of health buffs going off, I guess, right? Like, he had a decent amount of health buffs going off. The fight went so fast, there aren't even that many triggers. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm actually stunned that we lost that. I'm honestly stunned. Flabbergasted. Supercharger again. That just seems like it's like just needlessly excessive, you know? I need health buff crystals, actually. Hey, nice. Emerald, nice. Yeah. These health buff crystals are buffing these a ton, right? So every health buff crystal is actually really, really good. Let's get another defense unit here. Yeah, bamboo maybe is fine. Okay. Actually, these are really good with health buffs too. Can adjust this positioning. The bamboo has less health comparatively. Okay, let's see, dude. I mean, I just, again, I don't know if we ever lose again, but I was overconfident last time. Oh, double crystal core. A lot, actually, more crystals than us. That's kind of scary. We don't have nearly as many crystals. Oh my god, though, dude. I gotta be honest, fights don't normally go this fast. Like, we're seeing, you know, really excessive build here. 12,000 damage dealt already. Fights normally go longer. There's actually, I've had an almost unbeatable build with no weapons. 0 weapons. Basically an unbeatable build. It actually uses this guy, the big tree here, the big root of life. All right, we'll go brick by brick. That's another way to get crazy health buffs here, actually. Positioning wise, maybe that there. Move the bamboo out. Let's do that. Okay, let's go for cheap stuff. We want to find more crystals, right? Trees are fine. Oh, we got a green crystal again. Very nice. Okay, let's put this here. Or actually, no, here's better. Better unit quality on average. More crystals. Mechanic. Oh, ruby. Yeah, nice. Another crystal. Let's put it back there. Hitting 3 weapons. Okay, oh, too late, really, but maybe even for just 1 crystal next turn, it's worth it. I mean, we can't lose, by the way. We're on round 15 out of 16. We have 12 health. We're going to get a victory no matter what. It's just about how many wins we accrue and thereby how many ranked points we accrue. Here's that build again that beat us. I got to see what happens here, man. They shredded me last time. Let's go so slow. Oh, these little guys are like adding up. These little toy turrets from the toy store. Okay, chipping us down. Nothing here is that crazy. I think our extra defense here, by the way, with like this has 6,000 health now. This has 3. This is gonna make the difference, right? Like surely at this stage. Oh, you know what? Does he have a speed? Something that's slowing down our speeds because we actually aren't that fast. We're actually kind of slow. Maybe that's what it was all along. Maybe he has a unit that's slowing us down because our speed is really slow. 2.98 instead of, you know, like 0.1 or whatever. Hold up. Let's see. Does he have that Tinker unit going off? No, why did our speed go so low? I don't see it. I don't know. Thinking if I'm forgetting about something here. I just don't know. We're slow. We're like got really slow. I'm almost wondering if we got so fast that we looped back around, you know, like on the, we went negative. I'm so intrigued now. Oh, another green crystal. We won anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is our final fight, by the way. Let's just buy a big old magic boy, big old rocket. Let's go. Actually, a really fast rocket is kind of amusing too. Let's do that. That's cute. No quest this late, obviously. There's that time diluter I was expecting to see on his board, but I'm just not sure. I don't know. Finishing on a cell. All right, final fight is against bruh, my best friend of 20 years. More than that, 30 years almost. No, 25 years. 25 years. All right, let's check our speed again. Yeah, it was something about his build was slowing us down. I just don't know what it was. I'm not sure what it was. I didn't identify it. Maybe I just missed something. But yeah, now we're back to the 0.1 again, and just 2,000 DPS, 5,000 DPS, 3,500 DPS, 3,000 DPS, and the opponent's board, of course, is just going to vanish, right? They have a lot of crystals, but not as many crystal cores. Yeah, okay. Nice, dude. Full victory, 14 wins. This is literally like maybe my best run ever. It might actually be my legit best run ever. I think I've only had 13 or 14 wins before, so pretty insane, dude. Pretty insane. And Ben had something specifically hard countering us there. I'm gonna have him look at this because I'm not actually sure what it was either. I feel like there's like a part of me that thinks it was something bugged, but I feel like I'm just maybe overlooking something. I didn't see a time diluter, and I don't know how it would have affected us that quickly, but I might have just missed something. So anyway, guys, that's a full run. One of the most insane runs you're ever gonna see. Go do that. Good luck fighting against that, by the way. Did I talk about the main menu, by the way? I don't remember. But yeah, that's our little game, guys. I fear it's maybe a little overwhelming watching this without having played it yet. I totally understand that, as you know, it's hard to go slow enough and not make this a 5-hour video. But I think playing it, you'll, you know, read things as you go. You'll start to unlock little synergies as you go. Maybe I gave you some tips and head starts to get you going. But I will say, I think our goal, I don't know if I'd say it was a goal, but the reality is I think we aimed better for the long-term player than the new player, right? Like, I could see things being a little complex and overwhelming for new players. I'm always stressed a little bit about onboarding and making that feel good, but we still wanted to ultimately, you know, have a game that's super satisfying and has a ton of depth and, you know, is fun puzzling out for the person who's playing, you know, who's played 100 hours like I have or whatever, not the person who's played 100 seconds, if that makes sense. So we'd like to do both well, but, you know, if we're going to lean on one, I want to have a happy, satisfied player base long term. So maybe that's where we're at right now. But anyway, that was a full run and one of the craziest runs I think I've ever had. Yeah, okay, that was actually the most insane run. It's almost like too good. I'm a little worried it's too broken and people are gonna get like discouraged, like, oh my god, these guys suck at designing video games. Maybe, honestly, maybe, we don't know. We honestly don't know. We're humbly coming to you saying, hey, there's probably gonna be issues with this. I'm sure there's gonna be design problems. We're gonna make it better though. That's the thing, is like we're in there every day tweaking things, making it better. As you'll see in the Discord, Ben is gonna be dropping tons of updates constantly because he is a wizard when it comes to implementing stuff in this game. So if it is a little broken, we'll fix it and maybe we'll let it be a little broken too. Maybe that's also really fun. But I hope you enjoyed that look. I'll say for the 17th time, you can just go play this game right now. It's also, if you want to do anything for us, wish lists are crazy important to games in the indie world, getting visibility on Steam. We just want to get as many wish lists as we can. So please drop some wish lists down there and, show the love and hopefully that'll help us make this game even better for all of you who hopefully want to play this game. Appreciate your time if you've made it this far, by the way. I know this has not been the most time efficient video. I'm sure it's going to be really long, but I just want to share it with you guys, you know, like, I just want to talk about it. So forgive me, you know, I'm excited. What can I do? That said, I did want to just drop a little bit of a teaser, like I said, for the other game that's been, because I've just teased this on the channel a few times. And for those of you who are like, I only ever play card games, well, maybe I'll tease this card game that I've been working on as well. Again, just a reminder, this one's super far away. Don't expect this anytime soon. It needs a lot of work and time and money to get there, but we're calling it Project Cardinal. at the moment, and it's really a blend between Marvel Snap, and by that I mean a game that's very quick and fast-paced and mobile-friendly and numerically kind of simple. You know, cards only have 2 values, a cost and a power. But Marvel Snap combined with Triple Triad, which anybody out there who has played Final Fantasy, particularly Final Fantasy VIII, might know Triple Triad. But basically, it's a card game where you play your cards on a grid, and they flip sides. They flip ownership. Basically, when they're yours, they're blue, and they can become red, which means they're the opponent's. And that's based on the kind of power values of the cards. If one's got like a power of 3, and you play a card next to it, you can, and that card's a power of 5. 5 is bigger than 3. That card's going to flip, and you're going to gain control of it. People with the most cards at the end wins. That's the super simple version, but we kind of took that play style and made the board bigger, reduced it down to 1 number per card as opposed to a number per side, because that just got way too crazy complicated, and gave cards effects. In Triple Triad, they don't have effects, it's just numbers. We gave them effects and text and keywords and all kinds of fun stuff, just like other card games you might know and love. And we also put in landmarks, which are kind of like locations that can impact every game differently. But the big thing is simultaneous turns. In Triple Triad, you kind of pass back and forth, and it's very sort of linear. But we made turns simultaneous, just like Marvel Snap. And that means you can, of course, play cards into the same positions. Not a problem in Marvel Snap because there's 2 sides to the board. In our game, though, you can play cards in the same spot. And when you do, they enter into a face-off. And the bigger power value card wins the face-off and claims that position, which gives you these really dynamic and sometimes really swingy moments, but also gives you a lot of opportunities to design around that. But yeah, I guess I've probably been flashing up some cards this whole time as we're going through this to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at here, some concept art and stuff. But that's Project Cardinal. Again, if there are any publishers or billionaires out there who want to see that come to life and see more of these characters in this card game and give it a shot, feel free to reach out to us. Maybe by that time I'll have another successful game on my hands with Project Skyshard, which is really the ultimate focus of today's video. So let me know what you guys think. Go try this game out. Tell us, jump into the Discord, drop a wish list. We're looking for tons of feedback first and foremost. Either game that interests you is intriguing for me to learn about. So share your thoughts down below. And I should note too, I'll probably put this in the comment because I'm dropping this so late into the video. I'm still going to make videos. I know sometimes you think, oh man, like this is his new thing, he's not going to make Marvel Snap videos, I'm so sad or whatever. Nope, there's going to be one tomorrow for the new card. And for the foreseeable future, that's, as far as I'm concerned, still my full-time job, right? Ben has been working on Project Skyshard full-time with my help, but this has been his full-time project, his absolute baby. I'm still, as far as I'm concerned, you know, a full-time YouTuber. These are side projects for me. These are things I've been working on after hours. I've already, unknowingly to you, been working on these for hours of a day behind the scenes in many cases, and still putting out the videos you know and love for both Hearthstone and Marvel Snap, and that's going to continue. I mean, I'm sure there might be some little ebbs and flows sometimes if some crazy big moment happens in the game's, you know, success, and I want to make videos for this game as well. But at the end of the day, ultimately, you know, still planning to make videos. Don't worry, you're still going to see the Regis you know and love, just with some extra stuff here and there, maybe a fun new game or two to play along the way. So that's what I've been working on, man. It's my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. Instead of looking back, we're just looking forward, and it's exciting times, man. No matter what happens with all this, no matter how it shakes out, if you guys hate the game, I'm still really proud of what we've done, and I think it's really cool, and I'm enjoying playing it myself. And if nothing else, I think that's been a big accomplishment, but of course I do hope you have some fun too. So share those thoughts, check the game out, let me know what you think. Crazy times. Appreciate you joining me. Hit all those links. Love you all a ton. This is a crazy day. So yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you around.